Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this clip and you have not seen or do not want spoilers for The Last Jedi, stop watching it right now. We are going to be talking about The Last Jedi, everything we've seen, what we thought. This is full of spoilers, all the spoilers. Here, there are spoilers. So don't watch this. Don't come back, don't put in the comments, oh, you spoiled me. Don't watch it. Spoilers.
Click.
Shall we talk about Star Wars? The Last
Oh,
Jedi?
Yes.
All right, so there's a whole heap to talk about. I don't know how we're going to go with this conversation. We've got a couple of notes, but hopefully it'll be pretty organic. But let's start with immediate impressions when you walked out of the cinema, boys.
Loved it.
Loved it? Jake?
Yeah, did love it. It was an absolute emotional roller coaster, I think, this one.
Oh, it's a
And
roller coaster,
in
wasn't it?
particular, the ending and stuff really sort of whacks you right in the gut. So I really walked out like gutted, but also happy about it. I don't know, it's weird.
It was draining. It was draining. It's funny. So my initial impression was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. We watched it together, and the day we did it, I'd had a few beers that afternoon for
Just a couple
for a work show, and then I had the plague as well.
Yeah.
So I was pretty tuckered out by the time we got there.
You were
And
pretty
then,
knackered.
Yeah. And so let's talk about probably the first real emotional part of the movie. So I'm going to say like the opening start of the scene. Firstly, how good is that? The Star Wars, and then the scroll come up.
Something else about that, isn't there? It's
And
incredible.
it makes me like the fact that in Rogue One they didn't do that.
You were saying that, yeah.
Yeah, let's save that for the trilogy. I like
And
it being the
it
trilogy
works,
movie.
yeah.
It's really well. So, and you have the opening fight, which maybe there's some stuff we want to talk about more in that. I don't know, but in it we see General Leia, Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher get blown out of the
Vacuum space.
Yeah, vacuum into space. And I think because Carrie passed away recently, we all thought, well,
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's how. So when it happens, it's
You're almost accepting of it.
and it's less surprising as well. It's like,
it's
so
like-
that's how they're going to do it,
yeah.
and then you start the grieving
See you later.
process.
Yeah.
And then apparently she's immortal.
Yeah. What the hell?
Well, she uses the Force.
We're
doesn't she?
pretty well agreed that she died out there, right? Do we
it's
think
certainly
she died. Like you can't survive out there. She was frozen. She was fucked.
Yeah.
Icicles were building up on her
That's right.
face.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere,
Yeah.
she's one of like a Force master.
Yeah.
I'm like, what just happened? Like,
Yeah, and it's funny. I feel if maybe if Carrie hadn't passed away, we would have had that explored a bit more in the next movie.
Yeah.
Which now it's going to be one of those things, which is I think the movie will get criticised for because this is, and it's hard. It's one of the things I dislike the most in movies is someone died but then they're not really dead. Like it's a bit of a cheap thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think maybe in this instance
They did
we've
that
got some
multiple times, didn't
Well, they did, and so
Yeah.
that's it. Talking about the roller coaster, and we'll come back to this. Like it happened. I remember there was a moment when I accepted that Finn was going to die.
Yep.
I accepted that Luke was going to die.
Yep.
I accepted that Carrie was going to die a second time. I thought she was
Yep.
dead.
Yep.
Like, and then it just
An emotional roller coaster.
and then
Absolutely.
like, there's a bit where Luke's not going to die. This is so good, and then out of nowhere,
Yep.
fucking dies.
Yep.
I'm like, it was a roller coaster. But anyway, let's go back to the start. So the whole Rebel Alliance escaping the planet and stuff like that. I did like the bit of humour right at the start with Poe trying to talk to General Hux.
That was
man,
amazing.
That was good.
I
Holding
really-
for General Hux.
yeah, that was really good. And I think that
I'll
was
hold. Yeah.
the humour. I really enjoyed that.
Just generally on the humour, there was a lot of gags and funny moments in there, and most of which for me stuck. Like I found most of them funny. I know some people are saying that a lot of them didn't stick. I found them quite entertaining 99% of the time.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
just about the funniest.
It was the funniest Star Wars movie I've ever seen, by far.
Yeah.
Absolutely, a lot of comedy in that one. And like, if you compare that to the old school movies, there is no comedy. You know what I mean? It's very serious, style movie.
I think they stuck that quite well. I agree with you.
Could that be an influence from Disney coming in? Do you reckon? Trying to lighten.
I'd like to think that Disney doesn't have that much influence on it from a director's point of view, but it's Disney. It's quite possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, there's plenty of dark themes in it as well.
Correct. Yeah, there's enough there for it to either balance out or at least be,
I agree.
There's something else that I wanted to bring up that we haven't spoken about before, and I don't know if any of you guys have seen this because now that I've seen the movie,
Right.
twice. Gone and seen some spoilers and to see what everyone thought about it.
Yeah.
And it was at that time I noticed that the line, "I have a bad feeling about this."
Yeah.
Do you remember who said that?
No, but enlighten me.
Was it?
It's been in
Han
every
Solo?
Star Wars movie. Well, Han Solo wasn't in this.
No. I thought you meant in general.
Yeah,
You
no.
said it
So someone different says it in every single trilogy movie.
Oh.
before.
And it occurred to me. So, if you remember when Poe is holding for Hux,
Yeah.
and BB-8 beeps,
Yeah.
and Poe says, "Happy beeps, mate," and Leia says, "I agree with the droid on this one."
Yeah, he
The
actually...
beeps were, "I have a bad feeling about this," which I think is kind of really cool, but at the same time, I don't know, that's just a bit clever. You know,
That's very clever.
It is, but it was yeah.
That wasn't even Morse code beeps, was it? Because like,
Well, not that I know. I
it's
assume
just BB-8 talk.
Yeah, just BB-8 talk. He was fantastic too.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoyed,
Yeah,
particularly
BB-8 was awesome.
at the end on the Walker thing when he
Yeah,
was.
he's controlling the Walker.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. So is there anything else big that we want to talk about in particular before we sort of go through the list to make sure we talk about it? Any huge moments?
I do want to say that one moment where it was completely silent in the cinema. I've got to say it. Where she turns the cruiser around and she does light speed through the entire fleet, and it's dead silent. And all I hear is Brad going,
It's funny because it was like it's such a bombastic time in the movie. Like everything is loud and huge, and there's so much going on.
And pure silence. And you could hear a pin drop in the entire cinema as well.
yeah.
Everyone's mouths were just like...
Yeah, that was fantastic. That was
Well
just
done by
beautiful
her.
cinema.
Yeah.
Like,
that was amazing, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think probably the moment of the movie, and most people would agree with that.
Yep.
The lady too, she was fantastic.
She did so well.
I really enjoyed her.
Yeah, yeah. I just I did enjoy it. I think that would have been an epic moment for Carrie Fisher.
Again, I agree with you 100%. Again, if there wasn't plans for her to sort of have a huge role in the last movie, you could see that would have been.
Yep.
And there was a couple of times, like just before. Like I thought it was going to be her.
Yeah.
She's talking to Carrie and Carrie about to get on the ship to leave, and I thought there was going to be no, I'll stay and do it.
That's right. Yeah,
So,
that would have been.
Which that whole thing, it's a little bit of a shame. It sort of casts a big thing. At the same time, I think it was nice getting to see this movie, knowing that it was the last time we got to see Princess Leia.
Yeah.
She was phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
the whole
absolutely
movie,
was. Absolutely was.
She'd taken that role of the leader so well.
Yep.
And she was a joy to watch on screen.
Yep.
So good.
Yep, it was an epic finale for her. Yeah, it definitely was.
Jake, any particular big moments that you want to...
Probably most of you're going to cover off.
We've got here?
Anyway, I would
Go
imagine.
through it, yeah.
Well, I'm going to jump because I want to say my happiest moment was seeing Yoda.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
that's
I was
cool.
just thinking Yoda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was great, and the way he talked with Luke as well, and like it was like a friendly relationship.
Yeah.
It was,
let's
that
have a
was
joke.
just-
And then he burns the tree.
well, those are page turners. They were not.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
such a good,
fantastic.
and it's sorry. Mate.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I was still trying to figure out, and maybe seeing it a second time, you've got a better viewing of it. Do you think they did a CG Yoda, or do you think it was a puppet Yoda, or do you think it was CG trying to be a puppet Yoda?
It's 100% CG trying to be a puppet.
So they've
there was no
mimicked
puppetry
those-
in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they mimicked the movements off of the original Yodas.
Yep.
It makes me wonder though, because I thought that one of the best parts of the newer trilogy, so like Phantom Menace, etc., is Yoda was pretty cool. I thought he looked great, and
Seeing him fight was fantastic.
yeah. So I'm like,
particular.
surely they have those CG assets available. Why would they?
I
why
think
did
it was
they try to do
I think
this
it was
way
a
in
conscious
particular?
choice. It was we want it to look like the
Yeah.
original trilogy.
Yeah.
I think, which kind of works as well. You know, it's that's an older Yoda. It's a
Yeah,
beaten
true,
down Yoda.
true. Yeah, that's a fair point.
So,
That's a fair point.
I did see something interesting on Reddit. There was a fair bit of, and a lot of people are trying to take advantage of the fact that Mark Hamill said on his first look at what Luke was doing, he didn't love it. He thought this is a guy full of optimism and hope and all that kind of stuff. And so people have cut this together to make it sound like Luke didn't like the movie.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, Mark
of
Hamill
course.
didn't like the movie.
Yeah.
Which, of course, the other parts of every interview is, but he loved where the character went and it thought it was really good.
Yeah.
But there was a thing that I saw on Reddit which was really good. It's like, why would Luke become like a broken old Jedi, like all the other Jedi did. You know, like Obi-Wan became a broken old man. Yoda became a broken old man. Well, Yoda trained Count Dooku, who became a Sith Lord. Obi-Wan trained Anakin, that became Darth Vader. Luke trains
Kylo
Ren, who becomes a Sith Lord. And it's such a
trend.
Yeah, so you can see why Luke would want to be breaking this, you know, saying, no, we need to stop doing this. You know,
I did like the fact that he raised the number of times, like the hubris of the Jedi and how at the height of their power they allowed the Sith to return, etc. It was a really good sort of retrospective view of how much of a failure the Jedi Order probably was in the end, which I kind of like that view, and I think that drives the momentum of the movie and the future movies in getting rid of the old and in with the new, and we're going to do it a bit differently.
I agree with you. I think it's like that combined with Luke says it. This is not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Like that's and that's, you know, and there was a time where, you know, Luke says something along the lines of, you know, this all happened because, you know, there's some legendary. Like what did he say? What did you think was going to happen? I'm going to walk out there with a laser sword and wipe out the First Order. You know, because of this legendary status. And when you look at a lot of the criticisms that the movie has got, particularly, like, there are criticisms, valid criticisms of the movie, which I'm sure we'll talk about, but a lot of them are just pure bullshit. You know, because like, oh, this would never happen. And I think the driving story of the whole movie is, well, like, you've got to put aside these preconceived ideas that Luke Skywalker's going to walk out there with a
kill them all.
And kill them all. You know? So, which I thought was really, really interesting. You know? It's a good theme. I like that theme of
it.
This is new.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's something different. Speaking of the criticism, so a lot of people weren't happy with probably the first big death that we saw being Snoke. First thing I want to say about Snoke, well, two things that come to mind straight away is his face looked amazing. Like for a CGI character, that was just
that
was
impressive.
Clean. It looked really good.
But that Playboy robe that he had on, like the gold robe that he's cracking out. Like, that's when you know you are so rich, you are so powerful. You just wear what you want. That's pretty much. So in the big near the end, we see Kylo kill Snoke. We don't get to find out a whole lot about Snoke.
Which was, so I know there's a lot of issues around, Snoke being the Grand Emperor, etc., and now he's suddenly gone and no one knows what happened. And I guess I kind of really wanted to find some of that backstory. I really did, and that might be something that's easier found out in, you know, the external
the expanded universe. I'm sure we'll get comics and
I really want to explore that. So I was disappointed when he died, purely for the fact that I would love to have known that backstory, and just the fact that he's got half a face missing. Like, how did that happen? And how did he become who he is now? What kind of force powers did he have in the end? Like that electrocution thing
where he stomped on the ground
wasn't a traditional one. It was very different, and it didn't feel the same as the Emperor's electricity sort of stuff. So I'm like, I want to know more about that, and I really wanted to know more about, this is going off that topic just a little bit, the Knights of Ren. I really want to know that backstory a lot more, because now we know how the Knights of Ren started based on the pupils that he took from Luke's camp before he killed everybody else. I would love to know more about that.
So where are the rest of the Knights?
Correct, apparently they're all dead, I believe. I heard this. I don't know if it's a rumor or what, but
the one thing I would say though, and this is the problem that we have with this kind of thing, this movie went for 2.5 hours. Where do we put Snoke's backstory in there?
I know exactly where you put Snoke's backstory. Take out the freaking casino part. That was a rubbish part.
That was junk, wasn't it?
Rubbish. It was a half hour of stuff that you didn't need.
I didn't dislike it. Like, it was good, but it was unnecessary.
This is the thing. It was entertaining to watch at the time, but you take that out of the main story and it still works. So I'm like, it was a side quest in a game. That meant not a lot.
I agree with you. I think Finn, in this whole movie, I enjoyed him. He played the character well. I think he's got a nice humour. I particularly liked his look. Like, he looked a bit Han Solo. He looked, but
especially with Poe's jacket, just looks like it.
And I loved the character that he was hanging around with, Rose. Like, she was fantastic.
Awesome,
she was good.
But he was just filler. We didn't need him in the movie at all.
No. He just got that screen time, I think, because we got so much.
Because we felt like he had to have him.
That's right.
And I do agree. That would be a genuine criticism. Like, and again, what was there was good and it was entertaining, but it was just not necessary. So I would argue I wouldn't replace that with Snoke's backstory. I would have just maybe had the movie come at 2 hours instead of...
that's absolutely fair enough.
A lot. That's around the casino is when I went and took a slash, actually.
You did well. That's actually really good.
And it's funny though too, like a lot of that stuff was so very Star Wars. You know, that was where we got to see all the alien creatures, you know, so that was a real traditional Star Wars moment. But it felt so, it was unnecessary.
Yep.
Unnecessary. Although Benicio del Toro,
He was excellent.
Man.
he was fantastic, wasn't he? And I am really hoping we get to see more of him either in the expanded universe or in the next movie.
Yep.
You know, you can see him becoming a bit of a resistance. There's a bit of Han Solo about him. I do like the story that he told. The you know, like good guys, bad guys, everyone sells to everyone. And I think that's, again, a bit of that part of that breaking down the black and white. And so much of the movie was about, like, forget about this black and white stuff.
It's exactly why I feel like it didn't do it, but I think it's setting the stage to do it and go the grey Jedi.
The grey Jedi.
It's a combination of light and dark. It's no longer you're light, you're dark. It's going to be a bit different, and I think that sort of lends into why all of your Snokes are dead, your Lukes are dead, all that sort of stuff, is that now we've got the new generation, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it is. And even Kylo says it at one stage, you know, like, let the Sith die, let the Jedi die, let the
die.
Republic die, you know, let these things die.
And we can rule the galaxies farther and wait, not that. It's
Which
close to that.
I'm gonna admit, so that whole final scene, there was a whole bit of it felt like a lot of Empire and Return of the Jedi rolled in together.
Definitely.
I love seeing Kylo and Rey fight together in that final scene.
How good were the Emperor's guards?
Yeah,
they were badass.
Yeah, sensational.
That was awesome.
Sensational.
Worst set piece ever, because it was like a big red room. That was kind of it. With a chair. I'm like, and a magnifying glass. What the fuck is that? I thought it was some sort of dark sort of Sith thing.
And all
like
this is a telescope
from Lord of the Rings or something like that.
Exactly,
you can,
the Palantir or something.
But yeah, it was just like a porthole on the ship.
Yeah.
But the fight was fantastic. But that whole little end bit, there was a little bit. It kind of felt like Luke and Vader with the Emperor, except the story ended differently. You know, like this time Vader killed the Emperor, but instead of going off with Luke, went, nah, bro. And I like Kylo Ren is a fantastic character. I love his portrayal, and I love the character.
Oh man, he did. Yes, the character was amazing.
He's fantastic, and I remember after The Force Awakens, a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's so whiny," and I remember thinking to myself, "So was Luke in the first
absolutely
movie."
He was,
and this feels like if anyone is on Luke's journey, it feels like it's Kylo Ren, except
from the
torn.
other side, sort of
The
thing.
dark-
He's angry. He's sad.
Yeah, you know, and he's getting more confident. He's getting more powerful as he goes, and now he feels like in the last movie, it feels like he will be the genuine threat. He will be the evil in the universe. That's what it feels like it's going to be.
I still there's one moment, and you probably remember it more now having seen it a second time. There seems to be a bit where Kylo says to Rey something like he's seen what happens with her sort of progression, and alludes to the fact that she might turn to the dark side. Is that did happen, didn't it?
That's certainly what
So my confusion is like, is that referring to when she went down the black pit, or is this further?
I think he's saying, he's suggesting, but there's always the question of maybe he's lying.
True, absolutely true. Yeah, definitely true.
You know, you got two people trying to push each other. You know, I see good in you. No, you'll falter. That you'll be the one to turn.
Yeah.
So it's really I don't know.
My other thing was the whole bit where Snoke gets killed, and he's calling out exactly what Kylo's thinking, but you get the sense that he thought that he was talking about Rey dying, but it's actually him dying. Part of me is like, did he actually know? Is there gonna be some magical thing behind the scenes where he didn't actually die? Something like, I felt like
he's not
it's
dead.
too obvious for you to have all-seeing, all-powerful, to be able to astral project them across galaxies to see each other, to manipulate that, to not
know
happen.
that.
I just felt like that was either a really poor way to knock him off, or it's a little subtle.
I really enjoyed it. I love that, you know, like I can see him turning the lightsaber, and he's turning the one in his hand at the same time as the one's turning. Going to strike down your true enemy. So it's all everything he said was 100% true.
Yeah,
it's just that
they played that really well.
Yeah, I did really enjoy that. The whole bit with the Republic. The last cruises, which I did enjoy, like literally watching the fall of the Republic.
Yes.
And sorry, not the Republic, the Resistance.
Resistance.
Whatever, but you know, you can see the last bit by bit it's getting wiped out. But this whole, like, they can just keep out of range of our guns. They can't get away. We can't catch them.
Yep.
But, you know, I don't know a whole lot about interstellar travel. But if I was a galaxy-destroying empire, I would maybe have more than one class of ship. You know, like,
put it out there.
I'd have a couple of quick ones and a couple of big ones.
Well,
you know?
surely they could have like, you know, their however many other mega fleets that they've got, create a blockade in front of them.
Yeah.
They know where they're going. They're right behind them.
Yep.
Surely they could.
Yeah, that was a big miss for me.
Another thing with that, like, you got two different classes of ships, right? You got a cruiser, and then you've got this big destroyer,
Dreadnought.
right? Could the dreadnought not speed up just a little bit?
Yeah.
Right? Well, why do these two classes travel at exactly
Yeah.
the same speed?
Yeah, the cruiser was quick enough to get just far enough away, but then couldn't get any further away. Like, was this
not really...
that was that
Maximum speed.
I didn't enjoy that, you know.
Yeah.
And it sort of every time we went there, it was just this long drawn out, and it almost felt like the reason to keep Poe on screen when we didn't really need him on screen.
Plus, they needed to be able to have cutbacks from the other stuff that was happening. So it was purely there so that you could cut back to that.
Yeah.
But I guess the overarching theme as well is like sacrifice, and then what sacrifice turns into saving the people you love instead of dying for the people you love. So I think
I did love that line.
that kind of comes back and forth. I felt like that was a bit like really mixed at times, because you've got people dying for the cause, and then you've got people saving the people that they want to continue the cause. Just felt like two tones to me sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you a hero for sacrificing yourself, or are you a hero for living to fight another day?
and I'm going to that must have been an intentional sort of back and forth that the producer decided that was good for the story. I just felt it a bit at odds with each other at times, and it sort of didn't sit quite right with me sometimes. But that leads into, you know, Finn, he's going to die. Oh wait, no, he's not.
Yep.
He's not going to die.
Yeah, where he's flying into the miniaturized Death Star tech.
Yeah,
Flying into it, and and I'd accepted it, and
Yep.
I think it would have been good.
Yeah, I wouldn't have hated it, to be honest.
I think, I mean, I like Finn, and I feel that if he did die now, I might be saying I feel like we didn't get the most out of the character, that he would have been good to see more of.
Yep.
But
provided they actually see more of him in a constructive way in the next one. Like, they don't do that now.
Yeah, he really was relegated very much to a side character.
Yeah.
He was around just for the sake of being around. But when Rose, you know, like she takes out, you know, why would you save me? It's like we win this fight by saving the ones we love, not fighting the ones we hate.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really nice line.
Yeah,
it
was good.
I really
it was
like
very
that.
good.
So while we're down on the planet,
Yep.
I think Mark Hamill was amazing.
Yep.
I cannot believe this man has not been on our screens for so long. Like, his acting performance
It's phenomenal.
was absolutely phenomenal. He has so much character about him in whatever he's doing, whether it's fear, trepidation, cockiness.
I love the fact that there's enough Luke in him still, but there's enough new Luke, like old Luke, like sarcastic, you know, broken Luke in there as well. It's just a really brilliant balance that he brings to the character, and obviously the script for him brings to the character as well. I thought it was freaking amazing.
But yeah, there's no doubt he was Luke Skywalker.
Absolutely not. Yep, absolutely. And right at the start, I was thinking, oh shit, is this a completely different? This is not going to be the same Luke.
Yep.
Oh no, it is. Okay, this is cool. I can get on board.
And I feel right from the start, it was again about breaking that legend down. This is not some magical. The first thing he does with the lightsaber is straight away.
That was brilliant.
Like, which I think is
so good.
Like, that's the only thing you could do.
Yep.
You know, like there is anything else would have been so serious and overt.
And that set the tone pretty much for the movie, really.
Yep. So I love the flaws. I love the different flashbacks we saw of him with Kylo.
Yeah. The three
three different variations of it, which always leads to the question, which was the
correct.
one
They're all
true.
from a perspective.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume that Luke's was the right one because Luke's my boy.
And there was enough dark shit about that
absolutely.
you're like, okay, I can believe that.
Yeah. Which I think is is one of the lessons from Yoda, that your failures are your true, measure and stuff like that. But his confrontation with Kylo Ren was everything I wanted in my life that I didn't know I needed.
It was brilliant.
That is without a doubt the best lightsaber fight I've ever seen, and the lightsaber's never touched once.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Yep.
So he comes down and getting shot.
Yep.
On the planet to start with, and it's like, well, that's a bit shit, you know. But I mean, there was a part of me that went, "There's no way he just." Although you know, like it's on the planet and it's got the white salt on it, and under's the red stuff.
Yeah.
And so like, the first shot is all this red stuff. I'm like, is that him?
Yeah. Is that like
Logic and Gibbet? Bits of Luke Skywalker just went everywhere.
So on that whole battle sequence, like I did have a feeling of Hoth for a little bit. Obviously, it's not snow, but I got that just that memory of.
And you got the walkers as well.
Absolutely, it felt
they're in the trenches.
The setup was
And
really
those
cool.
walkers, how's that? Like they're walking on their fists.
Yeah, I noticed
like a
that too.
gorilla almost.
Yeah, really cool. And
Yep.
they had the extra bits on the anyway. So that was cool. Then the whole bit where the Millennium Falcon flies in to provide some cover, and Kylo's like, "Shoot that piece of shit!" It was so good. It was
so
like
good.
just brilliant.
And then
So
as
good.
everyone peels off afterwards, and
Yep.
Finn says, "Man, they hate that ship."
Yep.
Yeah.
I like,
so
yeah,
good.
that-
It was
and
brilliant.
that follows on to the bit where it goes. There was a bit, the whole
Underground.
TIE fighter fleet is following him, and
Yeah.
it's going through this little, I swear to God, I was almost just giggling with joy. It's one of those moments that, there's lots of stuff that you don't really need. And
Yep.
we didn't need that.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, it's the difference between it being Star Wars and not.
And the
That's
music
right,
in that
yeah,
point
exactly.
too was the original soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Chewie was flying it and stuff. It was just,
This is the other thing that you could take or leave is the little penguins
yeah.
or whatever they are. I can't remember. What
Porgs.
Porgs.
Yeah.
Porgs.
Porg. P-R-O-G? Prog.
Or
Anyway,
anyway, those little
I don't know.
those
Yeah.
little funky furry guys,
Yep.
like just the life cycle of that, I found quite entertaining.
Yep.
From being oddities on the island
Yeah.
to Chewie cooking one and
Yeah,
going eat it,
couldn't eat it.
and couldn't eat it, to then now living in the Millennium Falcon.
Them
It's
being
really
the
kinda,
ship. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of cute. I kind of liked it. So.
Yeah, no, I did too. I
And
thought
you
it
know
was-
they're there to sell merchandise, but I still kind of like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I
liked
don't care. Like,
Yeah,
I'll
I
buy 'em.
enjoyed it.
I'll
yeah.
buy 'em.
But then, so then we're on to the bit where Luke struts out,
Yeah.
and
And moment of the movie for mine
yeah,
was, well, Luke's got both of them for me, and they're both in this little bit, but afterwards, the gunfire, he walks out, and he's just like,
yeah, so good. So good.
That was amazing. That was
Yep.
fantastic.
Yep.
His confrontation with Kylo was fantastic. I really enjoyed the...
Just this, even this, like when they pan the shot out and the stance of
Yeah.
Kylo and the stance of, it was
Yeah.
just a very
Perfect.
iconic moment.
And just little things like the way, like one of them would turn their foot in the
Yeah.
ground before
Like they're doing Bushido and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
It was just,
Yep.
So the fighters can usually tell by what stance,
stance,
they're in,
what's
how
gonna
to,
happen,
you know,
yeah.
yep.
And he obviously taught him. So
Yeah.
how
And
good
there was even
that?
that funky Matrix moment where
Where
he
Luke-
does this magical kind of freaking parry and
Yeah.
just gets back around behind him. I'm like, oh, that looks so good.
That was fantastic.
so good.
And so then obviously Kylo like cuts him in half, and then like, oh, well, now he's dead.
Yep.
It turns out no, he's not dead.
Yep.
So that was
He's not
another.
even there.
Yep.
But,
But no. You're not dying.
But the moment when you're like, Kylo's like, what the? Goes up and he like touches him with the saber and he goes through, and Luke's just like, see you around, kid. I'm like,
Yeah.
to me, like he said that, I love the line, and it made me think of Han as
Yeah,
well,
okay.
like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it, it just sort of connects that friendship
Yeah.
Yeah.
and all that, which
Yeah.
was also, like, I guess I'd forgotten right at the start of the movie where Chewie bursts through the door and Luke asks, where's Han? Right, and straight away I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
now I'm sad.
Yep.
Like, straight away.
Well,
Yeah.
the dice. That
The dice as well.
There's just little little nice
Him and
moments.
Luke's meeting with Leia.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that I guess outside of the movie that makes me really sad is the fact that we're never going to get to see that brother-sister
Ever
relationship.
again. Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
they would have brought peace to the entire galaxy as brother and sister,
Yeah.
like that's, and we'll never get that, which is a bit sad. But the moment
Yeah.
between them was
Yeah, it
fantastic.
was very moving.
Yeah,
very
it was
good.
very nice, very nice. What else have we got?
So on the whole, Luke just died. Oh no, he didn't. Oh yes, he did.
Yeah,
Would you have preferred to have seen the traditional Obi-Wan death at the hands of Kylo Ren that way, or did you like to see him on the island? And
well,
see
I
the
like
sun
the way he
and
died
all
there
that?
because that was the Yoda death. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
either or. I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
I don't. No, I'm glad he went that way.
Yeah.
I'm glad Luke didn't fall to violence.
Yeah, true. Fair
No,
point. Yeah.
He pushed himself to the edge. and
Yeah,
that
he
was
did it.
yeah.
That I guess that was about sacrifice and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't. Also, yeah, I don't want someone to have killed Luke Skywalker.
True. Yeah, fair point.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's a fair point.
So I'm pretty happy that the way he went. I was sad that he went that way.
Yeah.
But also, it was a really nice, iconic thing too. Like the two suns
Yeah.
setting
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like the start of
Yep.
the whole thing, and
Yep.
yeah.
good
So
touch.
no, not us. I'm sad to see Luke. I hoped, like particularly when I saw he was on the island, that's what happening. I thought that
He's gonna
maybe we're going to
Yep.
get more Luke because
Yep.
you see that badass Luke for
Yep.
that brief moment.
But you always knew in the back of your mind the way the whole movie was going.
Yeah.
that was going to be it.
Yep.
You knew that was going to happen. Like you couldn't have. You couldn't have had him going into the next movie
Yeah.
as he currently is.
Yeah.
I think he'll be in the next movie, but not the same.
yeah, we'll get
Correct.
the Force Ghost.
Yes. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so hopefully a bit of Yoda too.
yeah,
Bit
yeah.
more
Why
Yoda.
not? Yeah.
Talking to Ray.
Let's not get Hayden Christensen in though.
No,
Please
I
do
don't
that.
think. I think that
that.
surely that horse is bolted.
I
isn't it?
hope so.
Anyway, with so much moving on too, I do wonder whether we will see more Yoda. Maybe they want to.
Yeah, break
Or
away
look,
from that.
maybe there'll be some. Look, this is it. We're done. You know, you guys, you kids sort yourself out.
Yeah, maybe.
And this is it. So obviously, Carrie's not going to be in the next one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, with the original Trinity, you know, of Han, Luke, and Leia, they're no longer around.
You know who's left to make the cameo and then be killed off?
Lando. Yeah.
He was in 2 of the 3 Star Wars. He's got to be in one of them.
I was a little bit surprised, to be honest with you, that we didn't see him when they started talking about the Master Codebreaker.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe that's where they would have to go to Cloud City. Or,
yeah, that would have been a cool little throwback.
Yeah, so I am hoping we get to see him.
Yep.
You know,
That'd be nice.
Awesome.
Even if they just mention him or something.
We'll name a droid, like have a Billy D droid or something.
Yeah. I do wonder, going to the movie finishing, I feel the next movie we're probably going to get a bit of a time jump.
Yeah, well, the whole...
You know,
looking
like,
at the kid from the stables.
And it's the spark of resistance. Like, literally, the entire
there's what,
resistance is on the
20
Millennium
left?
Falcon.
There's like no one left.
Yeah.
So.
But they're saying that this is how it starts. And that message came across really strongly. I enjoyed that.
Yep.
That this is how we start fighting back.
I was just to look at the whole First Order really quickly as well. Is like I felt like at the end of the first one, my initial reaction was at the end of the 7th one, with the Starkiller base being destroyed. That was a significant blow to the First Order.
You would have thought so, wouldn't you?
But they start off with just bitch please. Like they are huge and massive and all encompassing and all powerful. I felt like that seemed like a very big disjoint between the first one and this one. However, once I thought about it, I'm like, well, it was just a base. They have all this other sort of stuff, and they destroyed how many Rebel planets in the lead up to that Starkiller base? So
well, that's
they
it.
already took a huge hit in the first one, a huge hit.
Yeah, that's my understanding, is that pretty much the Galactic Republic as it was wiped out by that.
Yeah.
You know, they don't exist anymore.
Yep.
And it's very much the Nazis rolling into Poland.
Yeah.
Type thing. You know, they've got everyone on the run. That was my understanding. But it's one of I think the issues with Star Wars is like there's just always this big evil hiding somewhere. And there's always these big... one of the things I appreciated about this movie, which is one of the reasons I think Empire is one of the best movies, is there was no base to blow up.
Yep.
You know, that's such a easy McGovern fake plot device.
Yeah.
You know, and
Fallback.
So I'm glad that we don't have that.
Yep.
But so speaking of if there is a time jump, I would imagine, and I feel like we're probably going to start the next movie maybe at Leia's funeral.
Oh yeah,
I feel like that's a way
they'll tie that in.
A way for them to do that, which I think will also give them a very good opportunity to have a really nice farewell to Carrie herself. You know, on that thing, and that's where we'll see Lando.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point.
I think if we've got any other cameos to go,
they'll tie it all in there, and then we're off.
And then we go off and see where we're at. So that's pretty much my little list done, boys. Is there anything? Except Rey's parents.
Yes,
I love that.
Yeah, they were nothings.
I love that.
Do you reckon that's accurate?
I do.
Yep,
I do.
I was hoping. I keep hoping that it wasn't. It was just a way to get her off the scent of who her parents actually were.
Yeah.
But it makes a lot of sense in the scheme of it as well. So
Well, then you see the little boy right at the very end with the broomstick.
Yep, from nowhere.
And I'm guessing his parents are probably nothings too.
Yep.
But he has the Force.
I mean, you go back to the prequels, there were Jedi everywhere. They weren't all Skywalkers.
That's right, yeah, exactly.
You know, like Kenobi wasn't a Skywalker, Yoda wasn't a Skywalker.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's a really good move that they've gone down that path.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because I always remember someone involved with the Star Wars movies a long time ago said that the Star Wars spin-off movies can be about anything. The Star Wars trilogy is about family. Which I like, but then, Ben Solo is a Skywalker, you know, like his Leia's.
Yeah.
You know, so it's still about that Skywalker family.
Yep.
So I'm happy to take that as and I mean, and again, this is that thematic bullshit that we don't really need. Make good movies and entertain us in this way. I don't really care whose parents are who.
Yep.
Yeah, that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like the fact that there didn't have to be, you know, some mystical tie-in or...
I do want to know a lot know about the island to begin with.
Yeah.
Or at least the backstory of the... Because I guess
it's been there for generations.
I want to know a bit more about that. I want to know a bit more about the Dark Pit. apart from what we
Yeah.
saw Rey
Yeah.
experience for it.
And
Because
it's
Luke
a
was
funny place
scared shitless of it.
Yeah, and considering this is where the Jedi were born, this is the first Jedi temple.
Yep.
Pretty strange place to have a real dark.
Yeah, yeah.
But I guess that's the
light
theme,
and
isn't
the
it?
Light was
Yes.
dark.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yin
is.
yang.
The Force.
Even
you know?
Snoke
Snork.
Snoke says to Kylo, I told him as you raised, then someone
Yeah.
powerful in the light would raise. So
Raise,
there's,
yeah, yeah.
you know, there's those themes
Yeah.
of balance and all
Yeah.
that, which always leads to the question: well, how do you get over it? How do we get past this
Yep.
If there's always
never-ending
a yin to
battle?
yang,
Yeah, you know, like every 30 years we've got a Dark Emperor and a, you know, a Sith Lord, and interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in hindsight, definitely problems in the movie. Not perfect, but I loved it. Like
Yeah.
I'm happy to forgive those failings, being mainly the casino storyline and the we're running out of fuel, which is just seemed a bit lame.
Yep.
It's probably the best one I've seen since the originals. That's what I think.
I still think for me, that's a fair point. I think for me, Rogue One is the best for me out of the new ones.
Yeah, Rogue One's still I've said it before. It's my favourite Star Wars movie, and still is to this day. I absolutely love Rogue One.
Yep.
I think of the new prequels, this is definitely. I think this is. A lot of people have said best movie since Empire, and I do agree with that.
Yep, I think Empire's still my favourite.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll ever change. Just
I can't see how. And you know the thing, I was thinking about this. You know, like there's great Star Wars movies, and then there's great movies, and they're very rarely the same thing.
Yeah.
Like it's so we fetishize about Star Wars so much and make it out to be so much better than really it is on an individual viewing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Empire is the exception to that. That is
Yeah.
just a great movie from start to
good.
finish.
Yep.
It's just
Yep.
it's fantastic.
Yep.
Do you want to go watch it?
Yes.
That's all right. We're done. Nothing else to
Yeah,
say.
no,
I
don't.
need more Poe. That's about it.
Loves
More
Poe.
Poe. Yeah, I do like
more,
Poe.
more not dickhead Poe as well. Like they painted him as being a bit of a, I don't know.
Flyboy.
Flyboy,
a
yeah.
little bit.
I did like the lady. She's like, he's a flyboy. He's a troublemaker.
I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
that was good. All right, let us know what you thought. Unless you didn't like it, then don't bother because we don't care. But otherwise, I do hope that if you hadn't watched it and you didn't want to see spoilers, you haven't hung around this whole time because
Spoiler.
yeah, a bit awkward. But that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We might do this again. I reckon for maybe Infinity War.
Oh, that'll be good. Yeah. Yep.
Either way, we're done. If you liked it, like, subscribe. Tell us what you thought, your favourite moments in particular. Obviously, they're going to be Luke brushing the thing off his... every time.
Obviously.
Yeah, that was amazing. But we're done. Yeah, so, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Do I have to say it, don't I? May the Force be with you.
I'm on move.